What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mind of Mateo. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I hope you guys are having a great Monday morning and a start to your week. We had my wife and I had a great weekend this week. It was really awesome being able to see all of our friends and family. And now that we got the news out, if you haven't heard, that I will be a dad. So it was fun. It was really awesome getting to see everyone excited and everything like that. And it's truly a humbling experience. I'm very grateful to see all the love and affection and everything that everyone has towards us. So thank you all if you all are watching. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. Shout out to all my parents out there. Anyone who has a kid, and I'm starting to understand. It didn't really hit me the first few months that we found out that we were having a baby, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I knew everything that was coming along with it, all the responsibility and everything, but it was just something that it didn't really hit me. I knew I wanted to be making more money than I am right now. I want to be able to support my wife more. I want to have the option that she can do what she wants to do. And that's one of my big 5 goals that I guess I'll show you for the year. My annual 5 is getting it so that my wife, she can choose to work. She doesn't have to work. And she could choose what she wants to do, not that she has to work a desk job or whatever. And that is another story for another time. But that's one of my big goals. And so it wasn't really resonating with me, or I guess hitting me all too much, a month, 2 months ago. But this week in particular, I guess maybe it's because of the announcement and it's more official. I don't know, but it really got me thinking. And I've had a few early mornings and late nights thinking about this, and super excited to be a dad. It's something that, growing up in my family with my mom and my dad, it's awesome. And they're like the model of how I modeled my marriage after. Because they were so awesome. They are awesome. They're what everything that I want mine and my wife's marriage to be and more. You know what I mean? Because I feel like every generation should take what the generation before them gave and just take it a step up. In my mind, that's how it should be. My dad worked his butt off, and my mom as well. They worked their butt offs so that they could give my brother and I a better life that they didn't have. And so I look forward to doing the same thing and being able to give my children a life that we never had. And we had a really great life. Or we do have a great life, I guess I could say. I don't know how that works. It's kind of interesting choosing the words. But yeah, so the thing that it's got me thinking, really does, because I've noticed myself thinking about many different things about myself and my life right now, right? I've noticed how I've been working more with this urgency, this sense of urgency, and I've started looking at my goals, my ideals, and looking at even how I view myself, because in quite honesty, just being completely honest, I'm 28 years old. I'm going to be 29 this year, but I still feel young. I still feel like I'm in my teens. You know what I mean? I wish I had a little bit more energy than I have right now, but I still, when I view myself, when I view Mateo, right? I don't view myself as this like not a man, but just like I'm still like a young man. You know what I mean? I'm still growing into it, and that kind of in my head conflicts directly with Mateo who is to be, which is Mateo the dad. I'm going to be leading and growing this human being, and teaching them. When I myself, I'm still trying to figure out most of my life, and I'm stepping into this new area. And so but I've had this sense of urgency, it's caused me to look deep within myself, and it's caused me to start to take a look at some of my self-perception, right? And it's caused me to just review myself over these past few months, because, like I said, I've been working with more determination, and one of the I won't call it a conclusion because I'm not at the end of it yet. I'm still working through it. But one of the things that I've noticed is I'll start with myself. I am more capable and I have more potential than what I use, right? I only use a certain amount of bandwidth of energy and potential. And I've noticed that because I've pushed myself, and I've been so surprised at how far I've been able to push myself. It's been tough. It's definitely been interesting. A lot of it's been fun. I do enjoy the challenge, but I've surprised myself a few times at how far I can go compared to how far I would normally push myself. And so it's just opening my eyes to the fact that sometimes, at least in my case, we let life dictate the way that we think. We let culture dictate the way that we think. We allow over weeks, months, and years, we allow our dreams, our imagination, our energy to be invaded by comfort, by media, by apps, by entertainment, right? And what I've noticed looking at myself these last few months, right, and looking at my life the last few years, is if I had been performing with the amount of determination that I have these last few months, where could I have been? That's dangerous, right? Because you don't want to do that in a negative way. I'm not doing it so much in a negative way as far as woe is me or anything like that. No, not none of that. But I'm just looking at, I've allowed myself to get kind of lulled by the culture, and my background is corporate IT, help desk, systems administration, that kind of stuff. So, it's kind of the gig where it's a cushy job. You get paid decent, pretty good money, right? And you clock in, you clock out. Sometimes you're on call. Sometimes you have a late day or two that you got to, do a deployment or a project or whatever. But for the most part, you clock in, clock out, and that's it, right? And running everything IT pros, and even doing Mind of Mateo has shown me it's different, because you're not clocked in, clock out. You're always clocked in. When you're starting up a startup that doesn't have any funding to hire people, you're everything, man. You're sales, you're marketing, you're HR, you're COO, CEO, you're the tech, you're everything in between. So you're always on call, especially in the service model that I deliver, which is 24/7 support, right? So, but it caused me to think, how much further could I have been if I've been working with this determination, and what have I allowed into my life? What have I allowed into my mind that has gotten me to think less of myself than the way that I'm seeing myself right now? And it came back to a few things. It came back to the entertainment. It came back to not progressing enough in my critical thinking, not progressing enough in my self view, even, right? Because when you don't hold yourself highly enough, you're not real with yourself. You tend to allow insecurities to run wild. And so So it's one of those things. It's kind of difficult to talk about because I'm still going through it. But what it's come apparent to me is you have so much potential inside of you, and I have so much untapped potential. I know it's sitting beneath the surface. I know it's there. So why am I afraid to push for it? And why am I not moving with a sense of urgency? And there is no blame to put on anywhere else than yourself or myself. But what are the vehicles that I've allowed to derail me? And so moving forward with that, I'm going to be pulling back on all kinds of social media and entertainment. I really truly believe I'll be using Instagram, LinkedIn, all that, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, YouTube. I mean, I have a podcast, but I'm going to be using it for business purposes. I'm going to start muting or blocking all notifications of posts and stuff like that. Maybe I'll even just unfollow everyone, not because I don't want to follow you guys, but because I've noticed it's too easy to get caught when you're working, you're promoting your Instagram, you're promoting your brand, you're promoting whatever it is, to get caught scrolling and wasting 30 minutes here, 45 minutes there, and it shifts you. And the one thing that I'm learning is you have a duty to fulfill your potential, because I think it was Patrick Bet-David that said this. It's selfish not to, man. It's truly, maybe it wasn't Patrick Bet-David. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you when you grow, like if I were just to keep everything IT Pros a two-man shop and take in all the money, would that be cool? Yeah, cool. I'll be able to provide for my family. But the truth of it is, it's selfish of me not to grow the company, because I know it can be a multi-million-dollar revenue-bringing company, and I know I can hire a bunch of people and give them a quality of life that they wouldn't get at another company. And I know I can instill a culture in that company, that in my company, that you won't find in another company. I can build lives. I can donate tens to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars that I wouldn't be able to do if I kept it small, right? So I have and I know I have the potential to do that. I know that me and my partner, who's my dad, Lewis, I know we've got the potential to do that. It's not even a shadow of a doubt in my mind. I may not know how to get there, but I know I've got the potential to, right? So I'm going to be pulling back from a lot of different things. And just because I'm starting to learn I value my time now more than I've ever valued it before. And I'm valuing my effort now more than I've ever valued it before. And it's showing me that don't fall for the lie, right? Don't fall for the lie that you have to settle. Don't fall for the lie that says, man, if I just had a 80,000 or a 60,000 or X amount of $1,000 a year, I'd be all right. If I just had a house with a mortgage, I'd be all right. If I just was able to put food on the table, I'd be all right. I don't need more than that. I don't come from that mindset of lack, man. Don't settle for binging on Netflix when you know you should be the one starring in that show that you're watching, whatever it might be. Don't settle for less, even if you've made some decisions in your life that kind of don't give you as much flexibility. Let's say you had a dream growing up, and now you got kids, you're married, so you don't have as much flexibility. You need to take care of your family. Okay, cool. You might have to pivot. You can't do it in the same way that you were looking to do it back then, right? But you could still do something. You can still do something. And I don't know what that looks like, but figure it out, because you can do it. And I don't want to be a motivational guy, right? Motivation has its place, but I really don't want to be a motivational guy. But I have to tell you this. You have untapped potential inside of you. And you will slow yourself down by the things that you shackle yourself to, whether it's Instagram, social media, the thoughts of others, self-perception. Whatever it is that you allow to slow you down will slow you down. But you have untapped potential, and it honestly, it's your responsibility to grow that, to push yourself, to move with a sense of urgency. I won't even say just for your kids, but for your life and for those around you that you can help, because I've noticed the people that make change are kind of the people that operate out of an overflowing, like an overabundance, right? You look at anyone in life, it's usually out of an overabundance of something, an overabundance of joy, an overabundance of resources, an overabundance of whatever it is. But you got to reach that overabundance, and in order to reach that, you have to work on yourself, right? Because at some point, you may not value your time because your time is not yet that valuable in your eyes, right? You have to work on a skill. You have to grow. You have to have something to offer, right? And then at some point, your time becomes more valuable than your money. That's just the truth of it, right? At some point, your time becomes more valuable than your money. And at that point, you're using the abundance of money that you've made to buy back time, right? It's a cycle. So look, just take a look at your life when you have a moment and ask yourself, are you doing everything that you could? I'll answer that for you. Probably not. What is it that I've let affect my life? Social media? Is it people? Is it friends? Is it thoughts? Is it whatever it might be? Rein them in. Pull them back. Start to replace them. Get rid of them. Put some good habits in place. And then go for what you have, because you can do it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to be inspirational or any of that kind of nonsense. If it's inspirational to you, cool. I'm happy that it is, but I'm saying it because it's true. I don't know the level. I don't know the depth of impact, but I do know it's true. I do know if you need to push yourself beyond your limits slightly, consistently, in order to continue to grow. So do that. I know I'm doing it. I know it's a work in progress. I know I'll have an update for you guys next week when I do the next episode. But I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys that go forward this week. Conquer. Start to look at it. Start to make some changes and see how your life is going to change. All right? I love y'all. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of the day. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter, however it is you feel. I will be dropping the video portion of this later today. All right? Y'all have a good one. Talk to you later.